1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, I'm Big Luke. This is the 865 podcast with your host, Mr. Hendry Bombat.
All right, boys and girls, just welcome back in our channel 865. The best and the bad podcast at the same time.
Baddest, not bad. I know you've been in America a long time, but man, you gotta baddest. You gotta get that.
Yeah.
Now, me and Hendry know.
So how you doing, Rick?
We're doing great. Me and Hendry known each other for about a little over 3 years, man. And I remember how we met is the local music scene was kind of dead, and almost. Well, I mean, it was like Mark Meyer was still playing. Nisi were still playing all the way out at the Three Jimmies, and there was really nothing going on downtown. Raj had rebuilt Shamrock, but it was still kind of in flux, and they didn't know how they were going to do. And I was over at Local Borough, and Chad Kennedy, who is a great supporter of local music. I mean, he does appreciate local music, and he likes to put it in his restaurant. Yeah, me and him had a conversation. I got back up doing music on the rooftop at Local Borough 4 days a week, and somebody came over. Might have been Sparrow. I think he came over and he's like, "Oh, you got to go do these open mics with Hendry on Mondays." And I was like, "All right." So I went over there and met you and a couple other fellas, and we just had a good time. And then we just started. Me and you clicked really fast.
Yeah.
It was like I think we had a very similar outlooks on things, because not only from the music side, which I will humbly admit that you're 100 times better musician than me, but the business side we were real considerate on, because me and you both had a vision, and you put it out more that your vision was to bring live music back to Gatlinburg and have people working with you that represented the positive energy of Gatlinburg, and that they could make a living off of it. And now you've got 5-6 people actually making a full-time living because of you.
Yeah.
And you don't get enough credit for that at all. But I mean, it's like, and he said, I know if it was up to you, you would have 100 musicians making a full-time living.
Yeah. How are we getting now between times, like maybe at 20 somethings?
Yeah. Well,
between here and there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got like 5 or 6 kind of full-time, and then about 20 others that
filling in.
I'm real interested in this Senny is playing tomorrow. I've never seen him play. I want to go see him. And you brought in Noah, who you had on the podcast last week, and Noah was funny because he's so, I mean, like last year we met him at the music festival that you put on, which, I mean, you put on a music festival. How awesome is that? But it was like a singer-songwriter festival, and we just see this kid sitting back at his own table, not really talking to anybody. He looked real shy, and he just had this little keyboard and a laptop. And we were like, all right, well, here he goes. He gets up on stage, not even halfway through his first song, 30 grown men dancing right in front of him. I mean, he blew our minds. I think we all reached in our pockets, threw $20 at him. And
each,
yeah. And you believe in people, and I think that's one of your strongest assets. But on the other side of that, if people don't, you also hold people accountable. You make them keep their level, and that's also really good. I hate that sometimes you are forced into, like, there's been some times when me and you restarted, I'll say we, because I was kind of following you, but we had some guys that were inherited. And they were good musicians. Yeah. But they just they couldn't do 4-hour sets. Yeah. 4-hour sets is a long time. Hell, me and you usually do 8-hour sets. Yeah. And I'd done 9 shows in the last 5 days.
Doubles.
Yeah. And David Ferguson, who's another great addition to the team. If you haven't seen David, he's playing. He when he comes into town, you see his name. Go see him play. He's so much fun. But you've added, but. You were put in the position to actually, things you didn't want to do. You didn't want to fire musicians.
I don't actually.
And you'd never want to fire musicians. And me and you were on the same page with that, where we don't want to get rid of them. We want them to get the experience and get better. And then, so I'll start trying to give them advice. Me being, who am I? I'm just, I'm some guy, but I do have a lot of experience playing music. But I'm just some dork to telling them, but then you run into the problem where and then you were doing the thing where you could have got yourself in trouble a few times, where like they said, don't book this guy here anymore, and you're like, okay, well, I don't want to not book him, so we're going to hide him on the roof. We're going to send him over to local borough, and then local borough says, don't book this guy anymore, and then. Next thing you know, I'm giving them advice, or a few people advice, saying you got to stop drinking, you got to stop doing this, you got to start playing that, you got to, lower your voice a little bit. And then I'm the bad guy because they know what they're doing, and then you're the bad guy because you got to fire them, even though you didn't want to fire them, you just did what the management wanted.
What people up there say, I have to follow them somehow.
But I think we've got now, and I wish some of those guys would come back if they've learned their lessons. I wish some of them would come back and, because all of them were massively talented. I'll say the one that I thought was, supremely a great country singer was Kenny. And he just, alcohol got in the way, and that tends to be a problem. But, now we realize we got the guys and the girls that protect the brand.
Yeah.
Where they're not going to embarrass, they embarrass themselves. That's one thing, but then they're also embarrassing your name, which is embarrassing my name, which is embarrassing. So, but I think we got the right people in place, especially, you got Martin, who is never going to let you down. You got Roy, Roy enjoys a Budweiser, but it doesn't affect him
on his
shows at all, and, I think we got, like I said, David Ferguson being up there, Noah, and, Shelby.
We get Vaughn play today too.
Yeah, Vaughn and Zach. People are really, Zach is another one that what's beautiful about him is he came down here from New Jersey. And this is Zach Pyle. You can find him on Facebook, Zach Pyle Music, I think it is. Zach came down from New Jersey and was a New Jersey player. He was not a country music guy.
Yeah.
And he came down here and is just starting to learn country music. And country music singing and the Jersey style rock and roll singing, completely different things. That Jersey style, you're up in your voice. You got to get up high, and then country music, you just got to use your regular voice.
Yeah.
And he's learning that. Yeah. And like even yesterday, he was playing, or Saturday, he was playing Sunday. He was playing. I'd come in early to see David Ferguson because I love coming early and seeing you guys, man. I love supporting you guys. And I come in early for my show, and David's like, this guy on the rooftop's really good. Who is that? I was like, man, he's Zach. He just turned 21. He's getting it. But now, David brought up something that you do and that I do, and I've been harping on Zach to do too, is looping. And you are the king of looping because you can. I don't know how at this point you can play every instrument. I mean, I've seen you play drums better than drummers. You play bass better than bass players. I've seen you play most instruments, and you're just amazing at it. But like, I'm expecting you to have a Korg keyboard sitting out there one of these days.
It might be soon, boys and girls.
But I think you were kind of inspired by Noah doing that because Noah blows our minds. This kid, what's he, 23? 22. Yeah, he blows our minds with like I thought when you booked him, I was like, he's great and we get it and we love it. And it's younger music. He's playing a lot of like Adele and
pop music.
Yeah, pop music. And so it's not going to go over him just playing with it. He had that little like keyboard that big that first time we saw him in a laptop. I was like, that's not, because you booked one guy one time, don't remember his name, but he came up there and didn't even bring a guitar. He just did karaoke.
He bring his laptops and sing, change twice on the back.
And then the immediate reaction was, don't ever book that guy again. We have karaoke from 8 to midnight. But I thought that was what he was going to do. I thought he was going to just show up and, with a little keyboard and a laptop and just kind of do that he put together amazing music. But now, he showed up. He's got a guitar. He's got a piano.
Yeah.
That guy's. I can't speak enough about.
No, he's just good. Every single set, he just do a little bit guitars, you get keys and stuff. Yeah. Just phenomenal, man.
But his gift is kind of your gift too. Is he's very humble.
Yeah.
He when he plays for you, he'll come up and thank you. And then, hey, any advice you can give me? And that's how to be when you're younger, is any advice you can give me, not, I already know that.
Yeah.
You know, because it gets to the point where I have to say, hey man, you got to work on your voice here and this and that and the thing. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
I don't come to you with little problems. I come to you, if it's a big problem, I come to people with it, but I try to make it sound like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's a big deal. but you were more direct. I love remember that time we're playing at open mic, and I think
I was pretty upset.
I think it was you and Danny were playing, and there was a cajon sitting there, and I've had a few Jack Fires. And so I'm like, I'm going to play this cajon. Hell yeah. I sit down, pop, pop. I think I'm killing it. I look over and Hendry, he goes, no, get off there. I was like, sorry, man. But I wish we could do those open mics again. Those were so much fun, but it was, it's and for you it works out pretty good because you get to only play for an hour of a 4-hour show,
Maybe 10, maybe song.
Yeah.
Maybe 9, 8, maybe.
But that looping, what I was going to say is, David Ferguson said he wants to start getting into that, and Zach Powell really needs to. Zach Powell is an amazing lead guitarist.
You know what he's doing, yeah. He should.
And me, I am not an acoustic guitarist. I do not and that's when me and you first started out, I was terrible. I could play a 3-hour set of basic crap. I saw you looping, and because I've played guitar since a little boy, since I was a little kid, and we're talking 40 years I played guitar, but I didn't even own an acoustic until 2012. I was always a lead guitar player in either a blues band or a classic rock band. I was never the guy with guitar, and so when I met you, I learned so much. I was trying to do on my own. I had that huge red Gretsch guitar. Yeah. I'm just reaching around it.
You still have it?
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah. It's hard to play, but I'm playing that and singing, and I'm like, man, this is not making me happy. This isn't what I do. And then I met you, and I saw you looping, and also I'm sitting there going, man, I'm playing 3 songs in 10 minutes. You're playing 1. I was like, I gotta do that.
Yeah,
I gotta do
that. A little bit saving your voice, so many sets, so many hours. Sometimes we play doubles and same places, different places. The best thing to do actually. And I think it's mostly solos now. Not all of them though. If you're coming regular small bar, local bar, you see that kind of stuff. You go in All Red and Jason Aldean, you will never see that one actually. For now, that's what I know. You will not see that looping stuff because they have fancy lighting. Yeah. Somebody get running their sounds and they get back room to dress up, look at it in the mirrors and the fancy stuff. But we just do this as a family stuff.
Yeah, because we love it. And another thing you taught me is, and I should have learned this years ago, and if you're just sitting there and most of your life is spent playing an acoustic guitar and singing out loud, you're singing very loud because you don't have the microphone in front of you. But I watched you, and I noticed that most of the time, because I'm doing a 4-hour set and my throat's killing me because I'm, and then I realized that you're whispering into the microphone. You're talking.
Yeah.
And so you knew how to. I didn't realize, which is stupid because I've been a blues singer most of my life
but you're focusing on your guitar side.
Yeah, but I'm focusing. I never really realized the difference between playing and singing and then playing and singing into a microphone.
Yeah.
Let the microphone. I think you even said that. Let the microphone. Let it broadcast. And now that I found out, when I'm sitting there at the house practicing, I'm just like, I was like, oh yeah, you can barely hear me. Yeah. But that's. Because I do see a lot of younger guys that haven't realized that yet. They haven't realized that, but then you also have guys like the fantastic Eric Vaughn, who sings with everything he's got.
Yeah, he's totally all out. Every single song that he does in karaoke, even live he does. Sometimes the rooftop with Luke, myself, downstairs. He just do it all out, man.
But he is by far, and I've been around music. My first shows were in the 80s. I've been around music a long time. Best singer I've ever met. And this guy Eric Vaughn, V-O-N. We're going to be working with him a lot. I think he doesn't play any instruments, so we're going to write songs. We've been writing songs and stuff for him. But I'm really interested in finding out is it the greatest singer I ever know? I hate to even say change anything, but I'm real interested in him doing some microphone training.
Yeah.
To where he can lower it and let the speakers do their jobs.
Do your job, mixer things, and I mean, he's good, man. He's super good. He's super good.
And
also he get state act too.
Yes.
Get engaged with the crowd, easygoing. Just he don't care.
Yep.
And the songs that he playing, like, oh my God, it's easy to get engaged with the peoples out there.
Great charisma. Well, that's
a plus already. Other than the voice.
Yeah. For people that don't know me, I started out a long time ago playing in 3-piece blues bands, then I moved up into after when music kind of started, especially in Chicago, we kind of got blackballed because my bass player slept with one of the main promoters' girlfriends. So we kind of couldn't play music anywhere near Chicago. But I got into pro wrestling, and what I loved about pro wrestling was not the wrestling. It was playing with the crowd. It was playing with their emotions. It was playfully insulting them. And in music, I was always just, hey, you're on. And we get up there, and the extent of my crowd work was, hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Hey, thank you. Try that. We got a special 2 cheeseburgers for $10. That was the extent of my crowd playing. But then I watched you, and Jesus, man, you're the ultimate compliment I can give you on how great your stage show is and how great you joke around and get the people to just absolutely love you or want to fight you, especially when you make fun of Morgan Wallen songs, which, good job. Best compliment I can give you is almost every show, and I don't even know if you noticed this, but almost every show you've got this big crowd that's lively and having a great time, and not only are they having a good time, they're trying to get people to come into the bar. Yeah. They're like, dudes, this guy's awesome. This is a great time. Get in here. Dude, and I think that businesses have to see that. Yeah. That you aren't just getting people to, they're not just hearing your music and coming in. They're hearing your music, coming in, and then telling other people to get in there. Man, as a gig musician, is there a better job than that?
I just feel like win-win every day.
Yeah.
Every day I'm playing music. Yeah. Making money, making some memories, great friends, great families. Yeah. Just win-win every day.
Yeah, because you got people that love you. It's almost all the time. And Roy's really good at this too. Roy is while you take a bar and turn it into a party, Roy makes an intimate setting. Roy Saunders, I think you can find him on Facebook at Roy
Online,
Saunders.
all kind of good stuff. Yeah.
But Roy makes it intimate. And that's the difference between you two. He tells stories, he gets to know people, and so people, of everybody that we play with, people always ask me, when's Roy playing, when's Hendry playing? Now I'm getting a lot of when's Noah playing. That's when you know you got a hit on your hands with Noah, is because every time he plays, people have to tell me how great he is, and I'm like, I guess I'm pretty good too. And I love that. But people every show ask me, when's Hendry playing, when's Roy playing, because you guys make it. Yeah, everybody, they don't think they're your friends. They know that they're friends of yours now. Yeah. You go to a show with you or a show with Roy, you're not friends, and that's cool.
Yeah, man. I think we get same follower mostly. I call them families things. Sometimes they're asking about me, sometimes asking about you as Luke. When they know you are passing by, they know you'll be playing upstairs.
Where's the guy with the Crocs?
Yeah, they know already. So many people that same thing, man. All of us actually. Gatlinburg is Gatlinburg, being the small town, which is a bunch of tourists coming in, but also we get the same following peoples every single month, every single weeks. They're asking about us. They know us. They know our name. Even they know exactly where we play, but they know where.
That's cool. That I became instead of now being, hey, where's that guy with the Crocs? they know, hey, where's Big Luke?
Yeah.
They don't. They instead of where's the guy with the legs and the short shorts? It's hey, where's Bombat playing? They never say Hendry. They always say, well, where's Bombat playing this week? But now on the other side of things is like I put you over, rightfully so, as just a great musician and entertainer. But what people don't see is you are a hustler. You are a businessman.
I do.
You and a lot of that you don't get credit for, and you really should. But you get paid for it, and that's even more important. But
it's more important.
No,
yeah.
And because what we did is me and you met, and then we talked to Chad about Puckers.
Puckers, yeah.
Which is reopening. It might be reopened by the time this airs. And we talked to Chad about moving down to Puckers, and my ex-wife was the human resources director at the time, and I told her, I was like, look, if we get in here, let us do a month. And I think it was like December. It might have been January.
No, it was before that.
Was it
November?
November. And I was like, let us do the month of November, and then compare the money you're making from 6 to 9
sales stuff
and sales to not just last year, because I think the year before that it was COVID and everything, but for the last couple of years, go back a few years and compare the 6 to 9. And Dez was great in helping us with this too.
Yeah.
And so we played for a month, and we found that we weren't just paying for ourselves. They were having busier times from 6 to 9 than they were in their karaoke hours.
Yeah.
And so, we did a real good job of showing them the worth and the value of live music. And then we weren't afraid to say that out loud, and other places heard it. And then you were also able to use that base model of business-wise. You were able to say, like here, this is you were talking, they made $800 before, they're making $2,800 now, and you were able to take that to other places, get a bunch of venues. I know Margaritaville is a real good show of that. And what I love about Margaritaville is they didn't have live music before you went there, but they had a stage.
They do have stage, yeah. They do have live music, but always struggling, dealing with a bunch of bullshit stuff. That's what I call it, because they always, the things that they're booking A, B, C, and they think it's good because they look at on the social media, everything very organized, everything, and then the end of the night, and they sounds like shit, and also they're drunk, and well, and not all of them like that, but mostly.
But that's where you earn your money, is if any, because like I said, when I say you're a hustler. Back in Chicago in the 80s, in the 90s, there was, you're a hustler, you'd be considered a hustler or a player. Now, those words have kind of been through rap music kind of declined, but back then, hustlers and players were respected because they took care of business. They were always working an angle, they cut great deals, they took care of people around them, and they but respect. Yeah. And then, the player haters came around, but we all can't, be open micers at the gym bar. But that's the best way I could describe you, Ryan, is you are the ultimate hustler. I mean, and all the money that you earn for doing what you do isn't enough. You keep all these people in shows. You've created this whole, it's branching out. You got shows in Knoxville. You got people calling you on Friday saying, I need 2 DJs and a full band in Knoxville tomorrow. And you're like, oh, God.
That day, actually. Yeah. That day, next day, yeah.
And you did it.
Yeah, I did it, yeah.
You got it taken care of. To a point. But, your hustle is what is probably, what I respect the most about you. And because you know that, like I always say, my job as a musician and an entertainer isn't to make me money. Yeah. It's to make the venue money. And then it's also to make the bartenders money, because a little trick of the trade, if you make the bartenders money, they're going to ask for you to come back.
100%.
Yeah. But you handle the business end of things ridiculously well. And I know it's been a growing process, because there was a couple times 2 years ago that you were like, all right, I'm quitting this whole thing. People are just, you just wanted to walk away and just, and let things hang out. But the fact that you can walk into Margaritaville and say, I will set up all of your music, give me the time slots, and I will make sure there's a musician there and a good musician and a reliable musician every time. And instead of, like, I heard you ask Noah what his favorite place to play is.
Yes, I do.
And my favorite place to play is behind my microphone. That's the best place for me to play, is right behind my microphone. But my favorite place to play is Shamrock, because they want me there. You know, it's like, you know, but...
Not saying that other places is not good either, but I mean, it's a favorite place.
No, but, well, they know me, and they you know, like Tiffany, excellent woman. She
$5.
She wants you there.
Yeah.
She wants me there. You know, she and people always ask me, how come I always play at Shamrock? I was like, well, one, it's a mile away from where I live, but two, they want me there. But a place like Margaritaville, you have somebody different every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And how cool is that, to get all these other musicians, the exposure?
Exposure, yeah.
Yeah,
We get it from Maryville, we get it from Knoxville, from everywhere, a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, people come from out of town to play.
Out of town play.
But, and that's what's beautiful about that is, you know, and, you know, they always hear that you're playing for exposure. Can you come play for exposure? Well, exposure doesn't pay the rent. Well, exposure at Margaritaville pays the rent, man. You know, they take care of us. And like all the places really do take care of the musicians. And I think you've got into a groove where you've got not just 3 or 4 of the right guys, you've got 20.
Yes, yeah, 20s. Very, very responsible to so far now. I mean, only 1 or 2 like last 2 weeks, and I'll let them go, you know, like, because I don't need people like that, you know, make me headache in somehow. Running my name, running business, especially in the space big day. Yeah. You know, like we need people to be there and on time, be responsible. You know, if you sounds like not what we wanted, but you trying, we help you.
We set down some rules about a year ago, and I think everybody follows them pretty well. It's like, you know, don't get drunk. Don't, you know, we had to put a couple songs in the band song list because for the most part, you know, the general public was listening to us. And if you're up there singing Colt 45, it's just not going to work out very well for any of us. Yeah. And, you know, basically, you know, that was like, I'm going to say it out loud because, you know, the people that run the music at this place, and almost everybody that works there are superior friends of ours. But Sugarlands, we can't play there. They've got a stage sitting empty that we can't play at because
maybe not in moment. Maybe they will see. Maybe in next season. But who knows?
But it's not because they don't want us to.
Yeah.
It's because the owners were burned by the things that we set down the rules for. Do not flirt with the, you know, or do not overly flirt with the bartenders. Don't sexually harass anybody ever. Yeah. Don't get too drunk. And if you got an hour and a half, 2 hour set, if you repeat a song, you need to go home. Yeah. You know, it's just, you know, if you're playing a 4 hour set and you want to do 2 hours and 2 hours, the exact same set, cool.
That's still fun, actually.
Yeah.
Are you talking about an hour and 2 hours?
Yeah,
nah.
You can't.
As long as somebody yelling at the songs that you really want to play and you already play earlier, then why not? I mean, that's some money.
I got done playing a John Anderson song last night, and I'm going to give you a secret. This is between me and you guys, just me and you. I don't like country music. And what, half of my set or more is country music? I don't like playing country music. But I do like some certain artists, like Waylon Jennings, John Anderson. But anyway, last night I just got done playing a John Anderson song. I just finished it. And a guy comes up with $10 and goes, "Hey man, can you play some John Anderson?"
Where you at?
I'm like, you were sitting in that chair 10 feet away from me, and I just played John Anderson. And then I was like, well, I just played one. What do you want? And he goes, can you play Seminole Wind? And I was like, I just finished playing that song.
Maybe that's the thing too. That's pretty unique between all of us. I think we do a lot of cover music. Yeah. At least, like, I'm gonna say from my side, I do like 95% of cover music. The rest maybe original, maybe some, maybe not. But we just play and different than original singer. Well, maybe this sounds different, but we play.
All of us play like, you know, every single one of us pretty much plays, let's just say, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Most of us play Purple Rain. Not one person sounds anywhere near the other person's version of it. So, and that's a beautiful thing. And, you know, we concentrate on that. If you got a song that I like, I cribbed one from you. Damn, I can't think of it. I can't think of the song, but I mean, you play it, it's a hit. And I was like, well, he's getting a hit with that. So I got to put that in mind. I was like, but how can I do it way different than he does it?
Yeah.
And Martin's real conscious. What he'll do is like, I play Purple Rain very close to Prince's version. You know, I got the loops, I got the guitar solos. He plays like a version that the guy from Maroon 5 did. A little bit
groovy.
Yeah. And you know, Roy is just like the Merle Haggard version of Purple Rain, and it's great. And then
I sing only half.
Yeah.
And I do only half.
But, you know, and that's good to work things out, because like in professional wrestling, back when it was professional in the 90s and the 80s, we would get together before an indie show, and I would consider us what we do as kind of indie shows, and they go over the matches so people didn't repeat moves, and the finishing moves were all different. Well, we all do that on our own with music. You know, we don't want to repeat songs. You know, like I love David Ferguson, but I'm sitting there listening to him yesterday. And he's downstairs playing, I'm upstairs playing, and I was about to play a song, and he starts playing it. I'm like, damn it! And then I had to switch off real quick. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm sure he doesn't play "Ring of Fire" from Johnny Cash. Doom 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 doom. You know, but so different.
Yeah.
Like, and he actually plays. He played. Neon Moon from Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
Sounded nothing like Brooks and Dunn's version of Neon. It was just like this real mellow, sleepy version. And I was like, dude, I want to record that so I can play it when I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And, you know, but that's cool. I like that we all do, you know, we all have our different styles. And I mean, you set the tone. Like every once in a while, like I'll hear, well, why don't you ever play downstairs on Friday and Saturday? And I'll be like, what, you had me down there this Friday? That's nice. And then last week, and then last week, but you were playing Secret Show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go listen to Hendry on a Friday and Saturday. I can't do that. I can't do what, you know, I'm pretty good. I can get down there and put on a good show and get people excited and have a good time, but I can't do what you do. I can't have them throwing panties at me and, you know, doing backflips into the street and ripping their hair out. You know, you got them charged up. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, man. I don't know. Like it's just a gift, you know. When it turns, when I look around, man, I like to read the crowd. Actually, I'm just the music that I play almost over the same music, but the message that I deliver to the crowd is totally different all the time, because we get from a little bit everywhere. Yeah. From south, north, out of the country, and everywhere, and get in the same place. Yeah.
You don't know how. Me, Alex Stokes, the beer comedian. You can find him on Facebook. His podcast is called Waking Up in a Brewery. You blew our minds the other day. We're sitting there, and you know, you're played from noon to or 11:30 to 3:30. I was coming up after you from 4 to midnight, and you were taking your stuff down. You just like unplugged your guitar, and some dude walks over to you and go, "Can you play a song in Hindi?" And I'm like, there's no way Hendry can play a song in Hindi. And you're like, yeah, sure.
He was singing like, no, I sing better than you.
Yeah, he starts singing because he probably didn't think you could sing a song in Hindi. And then he starts singing Hindi. You're just like, walk away. I got this. And then you just tore it down to where, you know, the non-Hindi people in the crowd were flipping out. How awesome. But we're just sitting like, did that just happen? Did he just tear it down with a song that nobody's ever heard before in a different language? I mean, me and Alex Stokes are just sitting there like, I'm going to have to learn how to speak Farsi or something. I don't know. But now cover songs. We do mostly cover songs.
We do. I mean, that's the money. I mean, as long as people ask me for doing the original,
That's what. That's one of the things that the 865 podcast, and then Nashville, the difference between us, and And people think there's like some tension between us and Nashville musicians. There isn't. We love Nashville musicians. They probably feel the same way. You know, Kristen McCullough came in this Saturday and watched me play. She had or Friday and watched me play. She had a show at Sugarlands. She's Sam Hatmaker and Emmy Sunshine play a lot in Nashville. Sam's from Nashville. I mean, we've got a good relationship with a lot of Nashville musicians, but they think, you know, some people think that there's like a tension between us because, you know, they play all originals and we do mostly covers. Even though we have, I mean, you have some great originals. I mean, some of your originals should be heard, but
Tonight.
But you know, we would love to. I'm jealous of the fact that they can get up there and the crowd wants to hear their original songs.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when I played at the Listening Room and then got banned. They wanted to hear my original songs. I didn't tell them that some of my original songs are kind of R-rated. But, you know, the crowd wanted original songs. Oh, I'd love to have more shows like that. But I love paying my rent.
Yeah.
And to pay rent.
I think we all of us actually.
Yeah. You know, I what I do is every hour I play one original.
Yeah.
And every hour, one original song. People dig them. This is the beauty of you and Noah's podcast last week is an idea was formed that I heard. And this is going to be great because people ask me all the time, especially when they hear the song Sexy Lexi. They always say, where can I get that? Is that on Spotify? Is that on YouTube? Well, you and Noah are working on a studio.
Back there, yeah.
Right back over there. And a lot of local musicians are going to be able to, you know,
throw up some stuff.
Yeah, just record stuff. And, you know, I own a production company. I make movies. You can find The Hike and WGHCAM and Vinny's Fantastic Rock and Roll Venture on Tubi and all other platforms. Yeah. Camp Smokey, just give it a search.
I'm on a movie too.
He's in Camp Smokey. There's also Demon Lesbians. But, you know, like, I was like, you know, you're talking about just letting people come over here and record and everything. I was like, I own a production company. I will make music videos for people. I'll forgo my fee. And just the editor and the producer, we'll have to pay him a couple $100.
Yeah.
But man, imagine next year we got a bunch of YouTube. You know, we'll put all our videos on your channel, on this channel right here.
Yeah.
And you know, get the videos on there. Instead of, I mean, I don't care about. I make enough money playing music that I don't need to, you know, I don't need to make 0.001 cent a stream on Spotify. You know, put our shit all together.
Yeah.
You know, because this is a family, and if one person makes it, if I have no illusion. My goal, if I were to take anything to the next level, I want to be Eric Vaughn's guitar player. That's my goal, is to be Eric Vaughn's guitar player. But, you know, if Eric Vaughn makes it to the next level, he's not going to forget us.
Yeah.
If Shelby makes it to the next level, Shelby Klein ain't going to forget us.
Yeah.
You know, if Roy makes it to the next level, that's unfortunately him passing away, and, you know, then we'll have to spread his ashes because he's ancient. I mean, dude's like 78 years old now. He just got married. Congratulations, Martin. We love you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I think it's hard to say in the business that we've been doing that big things are coming up, because we're doing big things like, you know, like I played, you know, this weekend, we played so many shows.
Yeah.
All of us. And David Ferguson came in, and Roy played at at Peyton Manning's restaurant or something like that during the Alabama game. And, you know, like all these are huge things, but to us, it's Friday.
Yeah.
You know, it's just another day, and we're doing it. So it's hard to say big things coming up, but man, we get music videos and stuff. That's big. That's fun, man. You know?
Yeah, we need to spend a little bit more time, especially in the slow time, maybe in mid-January until February. Maybe we can sit down. I mean, we get the place already. I cook your rice, noodles, and
some more of that soup. Woo!
All that good stuff. So just Mikey like it.
Mikey ate the whole thing and then licked the bowl.
Yeah.
I would have.
No, and that's one thing that is never lost on me, and I know it's never lost on you. And I think it's weird that some people over the past have kind of lost the fact that, you know, like, if you're playing at Puckers or Shamrocks or Sugarlands. You're playing essentially in the center of Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Where everybody can hear you. 14 million people come by. That's a huge show.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, what do you say, daily, even on a Thursday, you probably played a rotating crowd of 300 people?
Yeah.
300 people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big deal.
Big deal, actually.
And, you know, it's like I always said, you know, I've made movies, and to me, we just made movies. But other people are like, man, I wish I could make a movie. I was like, well, make a movie.
Yeah.
You know, and then with music, how many times do I have people come up there, they play one or two songs, they're like, man, I wish I could do this for a living. I was like, you can.
Everybody can, actually, yeah.
All you got to do, and it just, like, I'll take my journey over the last 4 years. Like I said, I was never an acoustic guitar player. You introduced me to the Acoustasonics.
Acoustasonic,
yeah. Which are, for people that don't know, it's a Fender guitar that's an acoustic guitar, but it's the size of an electric. It's magic. It shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But you introduced me to that, made me a lot more comfortable with that. You introduced me to looping, more comfortable with that. Now I've got a drum machine and a bass. And it's just like, and those things separate me from, I'm not saying better than, but parallel movement for, like Roy tears the house down with a microphone and a guitar. Martin tears the house, microphone, guitar, tears the house down. Me, I get over here, I play, let's just say, actually enjoy this song, people give it shit, but Wagon Wheel. I'll play Wagon Wheel, but I'm not just saying, I hit the drum machine, I loop the acoustic guitar, I put the acoustic guitar down, I pick up the bass, I put the bass line in, I put the bass down, I pick up my electric guitar, I do a solo. And then when you get towards another part, I do a slow breakdown. So, hey, I got to switch the electric guitar back out for the acoustic guitar, play that breakdown. Oh, there's a solo coming up. I'm splitting, and people are like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
And, it's an old wrestling term, or it's old wrestling phrase is people don't remember matches, they remember moments.
Yeah.
So just me switching the guitar 6-7 times in one song, it's a moment.
And also experience for them. It's called moment, yeah.
And then you will go in from like singing a song in Hindi. I mean, and nobody that was there is going to forget that. Single moment has passed. That was
I take a shit.
Yeah, Hendry had to shit real bad. It was terrible. That's the funniest thing, man. when we used to play at Puckers, and I would always come up, even on my days off, I'd always come up and hang out with you because your shows were so much fun. But every time, like what was that guy Ozzy would like go to the bathroom and be like, hey Ozzy, go take a shit. And that's the fun part. But that's what I love about like a lot of our, I'm not even gonna say our regulars, but our friends.
Our friends.
Alex Stokes comes to a lot of the shows, and Nate, and even Rick, who DJs after us, but he shows up early, to hang out with. And then later at night, I get a lot of great locals come in and hang out. And I will say that the local people in Gatlinburg, like there's like a group of, there's always like the main group of locals, and it rotates in and out, and some people come and go, like Rosie's always been there. Rosie, she's kind of the glue that binds everybody. Guyver's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I always like to put him over because, Rosie sells roses, and I always try to make sure that, we support local. Yeah. That is our big thing. That's why we don't play at Aldean's. Truth. But like Guyver comes in, and he made me this bracelet, $20. These things you got to come in. But
make me a lot of buttons and stuff.
Well, and the way I kind of look at it is, I made a Facebook post about this last week. Is that like if somebody comes up and I don't know them, but they have a Guyver button on, I'm like, all right, you're part of the family,
Yeah.
And but this group of locals right now is, I've seen for 25 years. Different locals, OxyContin and hydrocodone kind of wore out a lot of us. I luckily never got messed up in that, but and things have come and gone, a lot of drama, a lot of things. But this group of locals right now is the best group.
Solid, man.
Yeah, they are the best group of locals that has been around in my 25 years. around the Gatlinburg kind of scene. One thing that you're going to be doing in your podcast is you're going to be talking to people like me and Noah and, you know, other musicians and stuff, but we need to learn more about Hendry Bombat.
We should one day, like, we spatial everything about me. I'm gonna let
I'll interview you.
Yeah, I will let Luke talk and ask me a lot of questions and stuff. But yeah,
because there's a lot of things about you.
Yeah, a lot actually.
You know, I looked. You know, when I found out you were from Bali, I did a lot of background check into Bali, and there's a lot of you know, the tenets of Bali Hinduism and all this stuff. And I don't know where you fall on that pattern.
Yeah.
I'm like, I saw there was one thing where it was like there's a path of creativity and you're not allowed to stay in Bali if you're on that path. And I'm like, because, you know, they want you to branch out in the world. I'm like, that's what he's doing. Yeah. And so, but
we will talk about it actually. I have 1-2 hours maybe.
Yeah, because you're kind of a mystery man, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the ladies love you. Some of the fellas love you too. But you know, I was just I want to put over and what's cool is like almost every other place we play too. That, you know, doesn't have the locals that come there like Margaritaville and Local Borough and Black Flag, but people, Kirby up at Vista, and but I mean, everybody's so cool now.
Yeah, man, like it's everywhere actually. Yeah.
It's like, you know, for some reason, and maybe I'm just blind to it, but it's like the drug element has been removed from this area. I think we saw too many of our friends die, so nobody wants to get caught up in the, you know, the drugs and everything anymore. And, you know, like if somebody gets too drunk, there's somebody to drive them home. I think we definitely need to talk about, you know, our biggest allies and friends, or, you know, just the coolest is the twins.
Yeah.
The twins. I mean, they don't drink.
They're there. If you ask them something, they're like 99%, almost 100%. They will try to help you.
Yeah, people. The twins are like my gauge on people. If somebody's like, I don't like the twins, I was like, well, then you're a bad person. You can leave. Because if you don't like the twins, that's on you. That's not on them.
Because the person doesn't get in on it yet, you know, they just look it from outside. That's why I don't like it. Describe people from outside. You know, if you want to see that person real, if you want to know that person which is bad or good influence or bad influence, you have to get in on it. Then you can describe that which is good for you or not. You know what I'm saying? The
way I always describe them is like all of us in Gatlinburg are so eclectic. We're so eccentric. You know, everybody's kind of got their own. You know, everybody embraces their own personalities, and they broadcast them. Even the locals, like Kat, the bartender at Shamrock, you know, she's her own force of nature, and you know, everybody's kind of got their own thing going on. And so it's like the twins are. This is how I describe them to people that don't know them. It's like they're so normal that it's weird. You know, they're regular guys. Like they're guys that in the 50s would have been at a diner, you know, drinking milkshakes and, you know, have everybody laughing with them. But
because a person missing that vibe right now.
Yeah.
So they brought that vibe. Remember when we used to play at Parkers when the two of them coming in? Oh, either one of those.
Yeah. It was
Cody or Nick coming in. All a single of those people that did just one song. They coming in and dance on it in front of people in front of us. The vibe,
well, that's
like magic.
One time, I think we were doing a duo show at Shamrocks, and the twins were there, and like all these guys were not dancing with girls, and you know, you could see they were wondering why. But here's the twins out there dancing like fools with like four four super hot girls.
Yeah.
And everybody just, you know, instead of like getting out and dancing with the girls, like they understand. If you want to, the girls are dancing. If you want to be around the girls, you gotta dance. If you can't dance, oh well.
Talk. I mean, that's the best way to say it.
But that's another thing that I was thinking of earlier is Sunday night. A guy was there, and he's a good guy. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I don't know who he is. He was he ended up being he was a police officer from like somewhere in Ohio. But he was like, no, Michigan. And he's like, I came down here to hear some real Gatlinburg music. He's like, I want to hear Country Roads. And I was like, okay. I was like, there is no, like, this isn't Nashville. You know, Nashville's the home of country music. You know, Old Reds and, you know, Jason Aldean's, they only hire Nashville people to come in and play at them. And sometimes they'll hire locals. I think Shelby and Zach have got some shows there, but they pretty much stick with that. But this isn't a country music area.
No.
Like the people, the locals, the people I know that have lived here their whole lives, they're Southern rock. They're a lot of what you play. They like a lot of the newer pop music. But you know,
alternative rock or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of 90s.
90s
is huge. You know, like this is not a country music area, and like most of us aren't country music artists.
Yeah, the funny thing actually that I want to say, from the age of the last, is All Red is here. There's Traffic Light.
Yeah,
right?
Traffic Light 3. Yeah.
That one. Although back here, there is no country music.
No.
You name it. Roaming Gnome, Smoke Man Brewery, Gym Bar, The Hot, and Blobs.
Iron Bore.
There is no country music there.
No, it's not.
There is no country music. Maybe one or two songs, maybe. Yeah. Like what we're doing actually.
I think the Old Reds and Aldeans are like the only, Aldeans is the only place that, but I have really good friends that work out at Aldean, so it's not, you know.
You know, I'm going to cut this video and make it 20 seconds and look say that actually.
No, I got a lot of good friends. We have a lot of good friends that work at Aldean's. And it's not their fault that the people in charge don't book local musicians. This is, like, when I was playing music here before I got into, playing with myself, I was in a Southern gospel band, like a Southern gospel bluegrass band, but I mean, this area is pretty big on bluegrass. So, you go to Old Smoky and, they got the bluegrass bands around, but that's not country music.
Not country music.
Yeah, this is not, even like a pure country music singer. And I would call Roy Saunders an outlaw country musician. He gets that real country music, but then he switches over and will play Black from Pearl Jam and tear the house down.
Yeah.
And also we're playing to tourists who, if they want country music, they're going to go to Nashville.
Yeah.
If they want, so we mix it up pretty well. And, I've even heard you do some country songs, which is hilarious. All right. And Martin is added in, I've tried to give him some ideas for different country songs. Like, I think he would sing I Cross My Heart from George Strait. He'd make us all cry doing that.
That was a good song too. Yeah, I know that song, yeah.
But it's like, we incorporate it in there. But, so like Martin and you do like the reverse of Roy. Like, he plays all country music and then throws in, a pop song or a 90s grungy song or something, and it kills. You do the same, you do it the exact opposite way with, like Martin does, where you play great songs and then throw in a country song and people are like, oh yeah. But then the problem with that, it's like I play like 3 newer country songs, and I'll play Something the Orange from Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll play that song, and then it opens a floodgate. Here comes every 22-year-old country bro. Hey man, can you play some Sturgill Simpson? I was like, I don't know what that is. What's her hit song? But then I listened to Sturgill Simpson, and it's all Waylon Jennings songs with different lyrics, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'll just play Waylon Jennings, because I love Waylon Jennings. But I think that's what's awesome about Gatlinburg is, and the Gatlinburg music scene is, it's eclectic. It's more personality based and it's more energy based than it is song based. It's like if you went to one of your shows and I've seen you do this for an hour, where you're joking around with everybody, you start playing a song, and then you get 3 words into it, and then you're joking around doing something else, and then that's when you're at your best, and you'll go for half an hour without even playing a song.
Yeah, I didn't.
But you still start playing it, or you'll give a hey oh, the Freddie Mercury up there, the Freddie Mercury thing, and then you'll start playing Bohemian Rhapsody, and people are like, yeah, and you're like, no. and you do great things like you're real good to kids when you play the earlier shows. Like you get them up there with the tambourines and you know give them a chance to sing, and that's a special thing because I think I do it too when I can. Is like if somebody comes up to me at a show and they're always nervous to ask, "Can I play a song?" And I'm like, 100% you can play a song because it's a moment. They get to play a song in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big deal to people. That's something that they're always going to remember. I told my son this the other day. We went camping. It was horrible. We went horrendous. We went camping with my paranormal team, Wrestling with Ghosts, and we took a boat 10 miles into the national park and then hiked another mile and stayed the night in an old abandoned town in the middle of North Carolina, and it rained and it was horrible. Had the time of our lives. But what I said is, most mornings you're going to wake up and you're not going to remember that day. So I like to give people that day that they are always going to remember.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, you can, you know, like if you go to Gatlinburg for 5 days, it's within a year, it's condensed down to 2 hours. You know, you remember about 2 hours of that. I want them to remember in that 2 hours when they sang and played a guitar.
Yeah.
In Gatlinburg. And you give so many people that, you know, you know.
You just give it to them. Yeah. Man, the opportunity, man, like you're saying, Gatlinburg is a big name though. Yeah. Like it's big name actually. Really big name.
But, well, yeah, it's the number 2 outside of, I think, wherever Universal Studios. This is the number 2 vacation destination in the east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
We get 14 million people that come through here. And that's the cool, the other thing that I know you get this question a lot is why don't you travel?
Yeah.
And, you know, why don't you go to here? Why don't you ever come to here? Why don't you ever come here? And I notice I do a Southern accent when I say that, but it's usually people that have Southern accents that ask me these questions. And I was like, well, you're here. 14 million people come here. Why would I go there? Yeah. You know, I think even Roy said something the other day, or a couple months ago. He was like, yeah, it's like I go to Georgia and play in front of 14 people.
14 people.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, why don't you? That's the reason, you know, people say, why don't you come to Knoxville? Because Knoxville, the music scene sucks in Knoxville. The bars that have, you know, like I've done it, where you go to a bar and you're playing in front of 5 people that are sitting at the bar, you know, after a hard day's work, they don't give a shit about live music.
Yeah, they don't actually.
But you have another idea, and I think this is something that we really need to work on is incorporating like comedians. I think we do need to get a venue that wants to take a risk on putting music and comedy on the stage.
I'm working on it. I'm working with Roaming Down right now already. I booked Alex myself on December 19th. If I'm not mistaken, when December 19th, yeah, it's gonna be the first shows and music and comedians on this county. I think since I remember, I don't know in past though.
Well,
hopefully it will work well.
Me and Funk Master V, Vinny Vineyard, who's he used to be a touring bass player, but he's just an amazing bass player, and he's, you know, me, you, and him you guys are my closest, you know, and me, him, and Alex Stokes went up to Cincinnati a couple Saturdays ago, and me and him did comedy music, but I mean, like we did comedy like you do, you know, where you're playing serious songs, but then you do comedy with it, and you say, you know, have little things. And then Alex came up and did comedy set after that, which completely bombed because right when he started in Cincinnati, Ohio State lost. And so that didn't work out well for Alex, which was funnier than if he'd have done good. Because, you know, it wasn't anything wrong with his set. It's just like, you know, he's sitting there telling jokes to a guy dressed in a milk carton crying. Ohio State lost. But it was great. I loved watching it. But I mean, I was like, but the energy of that show, just us in front of 25 people at a Halloween party, man, we need to transfer stuff like that. I was like, you play for 45 minutes, joke around, get Alex involved in it. You know, hopefully we can find some more local comedians. I know Danny Whitson and
CJ.
And Lance Adams are, real good local comedians. I mean, it would be fun to have music, but that's also one of those where you can't just hire, you can't just be any musician. It has to be people that are more on the entertainment side of things.
Yeah, but anyway, man, this is a month full of horror. I mean, it's Halloween. We never done it before yet, but I was thinking about gonna dress up myself and play music in a costume. I don't know.
Yeah. I dressed like Prince last year. I played Halloween and dressed like Prince.
So, what do you think about me, man?
Do it.
What's the best costume for me? Jackie Chan?
No. I would say Bolo Young from the Kickboxer.
So I'm taking off my shirt.
Just take off your shirt and put a headband on. That's all you need to do. You got it. I think it'd be fun to do something completely ridiculous, like a cowboy, the naked cowboy. You get the Speedo and the American flag hat. You could be the naked cowboy out there.
Cowboys boots and
cowboy boots, Speedo, cowboy hat.
Yeah, man. What day is that though? I forget already.
Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday next week.
We'll be playing.
Yeah, we were playing actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully the waiter is friendly. That's the thing.
Yeah, because I mean, I think you should dress up something unexpected, But the naked cowboy is a good idea, but you'd have to go down over here to the trunk store to find American flag Speedos, Because I have a feeling at the Trump store they sell American flag Speedos.
Yeah. Maybe also the one in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, could be.
So all right, look, we get a lot of chat and chat. We're gonna talk. It's gonna be not enough 2-3 hours. We have long conversation and stuff about music, but also we welcome all the businesses that want to share their products and they inviting us to coming to their place. More than welcome to do it.
I would like if you're in for this is like if Tuesdays we're both off. Mikey's gets off school. I mean, Tuesdays it would be cool for us to do a couple remote podcasts where we go to different places, talk to people. There's plenty of other venues around here that even if we don't play at it. The Iron Boar Neighborhood Beer Garden. Oh, that place is great. That Neighborhood Beer Garden is awesome. Iron Boar is really cool. They got some
good food.
Real good food because it's No Way Jose's food. And some super hot bartenders.
Friendly bartender, white stuff. Yeah, they all good. Yeah, we should do that anyway. Yeah, but look, I say closing time now. What are you gonna say, Luke? What do you think about overall that we try to build 865 podcast? We want people knows that what we're doing basically.
Well, I think you've got a better start than most because I've seen your view counts, and like most podcasts start off with 5-6 views. You're starting off with thousands. So, usually you put me on a podcast and what I'll do is I'll say things that I probably shouldn't say and then that boosts it up a little bit more, but I won't do that for you because I want you.
I want it. Hey, me and Mikey were gambling. Mikey, me and your dad, how many views going to be in this podcast though? Guess, between you and me.
All right. So between you two,
I'm sure it's gonna be 1K up, but I want
definitely above 1K. I would say on the closer end of 1,500.
I want to beat Alex's comedy special. He's at.
So you're gonna say 3.5?
I'd say between 3 and 4.
Oh, you're going high. Oh,
yeah.
I will say 5.
You're saying 5,000?
5K.
And mostly it's the guys that don't like me
I would say 5K.
Oh yeah, count those. That'd be
5K. But because I post it pretty much everywhere now. I usually post it like once a day, and I use a lot of Instagram actually. So a lot of people knows me from there. Look, I just post it there, and they just click the link.
Your music video's got 30,000 views.
Dude. Yeah. It's just incredible, man. I've never checked it. It was like, oh shit, this 30K.
And that video, as somebody who makes music videos, I made some for Me Sunshine, Sam Hatmaker, Fish Fisher. Man, I was shot. I mean, was that an iPhone?
It was an iPhone, yeah. That one, yeah.
Yeah, it was shot with an iPhone of you just wandering around in Florida, and it was awesome.
Same style.
Yeah. And
with my Crystal Sonic, the white one, yeah.
It's
but-
gonna be winter. He's gonna be wearing that.
but what I would say is I think that, you know, obviously one of the things you want to do to keep a podcast going is you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
It has to be consistent.
We're trying to do this at least weekly, once a week, and different peoples and different topics and stuff like that. We also we don't have to talk about music at all. We can talk about a lot of things.
And then when you get Roy in here, make sure you just get him hammered.
Yeah, I get extra bed now anyway, so we get plenty space now for all of us actually. So people like just stay right here.
But I would think one of the, and it sucks that he's playing tonight. But I think David Ferguson's got to have a great story. I mean, his dad was a famous musician.
Yeah.
You don't get as good as him. You know, just him and a guitar is so good, but you don't get that good without experience.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got to have a ton of experience in him.
We'll give him a couple of shots and
But
then he will talk.
I think my final thoughts would be come to Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge. If you don't even see us, see somebody. And support the local guys. Like I said, if you see Guyver at buy one of his buttons or a bracelet. Oh, they're so cool.
Keychains.
Keychains. If you see Rosie, buy a rose from her. If you see a musician, tip them. Let them know that you appreciate it.
See the DJ, tip them, clap for them, give them some love. Also people that working behind the bars, make his drinks and everything.
And don't ask him to sing Morgan Wallen, because none of us like Morgan Wallen. The guy's an asshole.
Oh, come on. It's not.
He's a terrible human being.
I sing that song, somebody want to fight me. So
that was funny. I mean,
but yeah, anyway, look, we're gonna do it maybe next week or next 2 weeks. We're back in 865. Love you, brother.
Oh, man.
What are you gonna say? Last word.
Oh, hey, babies, I'm eating chips and kissing lips. What's up?
Stay healthy, be happy. Rock and roll.
Ow.